Hello all, this is RC number 34 of our free practice course, VARC 100. Let's begin. So this was a simple read. In the first paragraph, author tells you that private emails sent through company accounts are not as private as one would believe. In the second paragraph, he says there's a debate over whether government employees, for example, be allowed to delete emails to avoid public access. In the third paragraph, he gives us another example of a private company and tells that and suggests that this case goes on to show that law favors companies' right to access private emails sent through company accounts. And finally, in the last paragraph, he says law does not much favor the idea of privacy in emails, and users don't have much choice to make their messages private either. So basically, author tells us about how law views this entire issue without giving his opinion on the issue. So question number 1, which of the following statements most accurately summarizes the main point of the passage? Okay, option A, until the legal questions surrounding the privacy of electronic email in both the public and private sectors have been resolved, office workers will need to scramble their electronic mail messages with encryption codes. The tone of this passage, the tone of this answer choice is suggestive. So basically, this answer choice suggests that office workers will have to use encryption codes. However, in the last line, he says encryption codes are not a viable option because unfortunately, they violate the basic principle of electronic mail convenience. So option A, in a sense, is contradictory to author's tone. Option B, the legal question surrounding the privacy of electronic mail in the workplace can best be resolved by treating such communications as if they were as private as telephone calls. Again, please note that they can best be resolved would mean that author is giving a suggestion how to resolve this issue. However, author has never given any suggestion. He has merely pointed out what law thinks on this issue without giving his personal opinion. Therefore, option B is also out. Option C, any attempt to resolve the legal question surrounding the privacy of electronic email must take into account the essential difference between public sector and private sector business. Two problems. Author does not really point out the difference between public and private sector in context of law. And second, author never again adopts any recommendatory approach, recommendatory tone in the passage. So option C is also out. At present, in both the public and private sectors, there seem to be no clear answer to the legal question surrounding the privacy of electronic email. Exactly. So option D only points out the issue without really taking giving a suggestion or taking a stand on it. That's what author's tone really is in the passage. Question 2, according to the passage, which of the following best expresses the reason some people oppose the deletion of electronic emails by the government employees, government offices? Okay, what is the reason? Clearly mentioned in the second paragraph. Opponents of such practices argue that the paper versions often omit such information. They also maintain that the public should, because government officials are civil servants, the public should have the right to review any documents created during the conducting of government business. So basically, this is the reason they oppose the deletion of emails. Option A, such deletion reveals the extent of government's unhealthy obsession with secrecy. Alien idea, nowhere mentioned. Such deletion runs counter to the notion of government's accountability to its constituency. Constituency simply means public. So the idea that government is accountable to public, if you delete emails, then the deletion runs counter to this very idea. Option B is the correct answer. That's exactly what the last lines in the second paragraph suggest. Such deletion clearly violates the legal requirement that government office must keep duplicate copies. There's no such legal requirement. There's a legal requirement maybe of not destroying the paper copies whose destruction is forbidden. Whose destruction? The paper copies, the paper documents. The government offices cannot destroy the paper documents, but do they have to keep a duplicate copy? We don't know that. So this legal requirement is again alien. Such deletion violates the government's own guidelines no guidelines have been issued by the government. Nowhere do we see such a mention in the passage. So again, alien idea. Okay. Question 3. Which of the following most accurately states the organization of the passage? Let's see. Option A, a problem is introduced. Yes, the legal issue on privacy of emails, followed by specific examples illustrating the problem. Yes, government office is one example, and the private company is another example. A possible solution is suggested. Yes, this is a possible solution. The only solution, encryption codes, followed by an acknowledgement of the shortcomings of the solution. Exactly. Last line is it identifies a shortcoming in the solution. So option A should be the correct answer. A problem is introduced. Yes, followed by explications of two possible solutions. There's no two possible solutions, let alone immediately following the introduction to the problem. So two solutions, alien. Option C, problem is introduced. Yes, followed by analysis of the historical circumstances that helped bring the problem about a possible solution. Okay, wait. Is there any talk of the historical circumstances that brought about the problem? No. So this is again alien. A problem is introduced. Yes, followed by enumeration of various questions that need to be answered before a solution can be found. And then finally, one possible solution is proposed and argued for. This last part is clearly wrong. One possible solution is proposed, but it is not argued for, it is argued against. Author himself says that, okay, this is a possible solution, but this solution is not a viable solution because it violates the very principle of electronic mail, which is convenience. So he argues against this solution himself. Option D is contradictory. Based on the passage, author's attitude towards interception of electronic email can most accurately be described as what? So what is his attitude towards the idea of interception of private emails, of electronic email? Okay. Please note, author has not given his opinion on the subject. He's merely pointed out the debate that is going on. Therefore, we can say that his attitude is objective or neutral. All right. Option A, outright disapproval for the practice. Does the author disapprove of this practice? No, we don't know. Support? No. Cynicism? No. Intellectual interest in its legal issues? Exactly. So the closest option to objectivity or neutrality is option D. Therefore, this is the answer. Author has not given personal opinion on the issues, merely pointed out that debate is going on this issue. There are no set guidelines, legal guidelines on the issue of privacy of electronic emails. Okay. I hope you got all 4 right. This was an easy passage. Keep practicing, keep improving. Cheers to learning.